Hey, this is Mark Frieden from Tulip, and today I want to introduce a new module to the library, and this one's for production logging. So a lot of the applications on the library, and a lot of applications you might want to build, have this idea of logging parts at a workstation. So, you have an assembly cell, for example, and they produce a part every, let's say they're supposed to produce a part every minute. You want to track how they're doing against that. So you have an hourly scorecard, which is something in the library, as well as just any, like the manual machine terminal, the Tack Time terminal, all these things do the same sort of thing in the background, which is just log the station's activity. Now you can use the completions in apps to do this really simply, and I encourage you to do that. But let's say you want to know a station's status or its expected output, even if they're not pressing the complete button, because maybe it takes a long time for them to complete that product, or maybe they're down and you still want to log an expectation. So that's where this module comes in, as a production logging module. So let me show you how it works really quickly. You can see here the player I have to the right and the editor on the other side here to the left. And we'll just go to the module so you can have it open on both screens and see it. And basically the way this thing works is, this is built so that you can just copy and paste this into your applications, and everything should work really, really clearly. So basically right now you can see my cell is off. If I press this running button, I'll start logging that I'm running. If I push this idle button, I'll start logging that I'm idle. And if we go into the tables here, we can show you how that works. It's all taking place really in two tables. So one table is the stations table, right? So when you install this application, you'll see that you'll be getting this table installed automatically. But if I press running, you'll see here that it's changed. And if I press to down, you'll see that it's changed. So you can change your status just on a whim like that. What's really neat about this module is that when you go to look at the history records of this, it works the same way basically as the machine monitoring does. It's logging. You see here that I've changed from running to idle to down to running, and if I were to change to off, I'd be creating a new record here that says I'm off. And each time I'm calculating my expected output based on my tack time. I'm also calculating the duration, and this is going to be really great for analytics. This way you can actually choose any of your cells and just start looking at what they've done over time, what their history is. So the way this thing works, if you want to use it in your application, is really quite simple. Read these instructions on the application. It tells you what each of these things does. But first is a step enter function. You can copy and paste this into your application, and then these timer functions. The timer functions are doing the calculations on your expected output. And that's more or less it. If I change a product, I can start logging against, 10 parts, maybe one bad part. If I log this production data, you'll see again in the table that I've logged that information here. So the part number, my expected output, my actual output, and my defects. And you can use this to calculate yields. You can do all sorts of great things with this. So the last thing I'll show you here is the tack time. I can also change my expected output. So maybe my tack time is 60 seconds, not 2 minutes. And you'll see here, it created a new record with that new expected output. So that way, my tack time has changed here. That way, as the day goes on, if maybe you change the way your cell is staffed or its tack time changes for some reason, then you'll see, you'll have different targets being produced. So hopefully this is a really, useful module. Again, it was built so you can just have any existing app that you currently are using and just copy and paste these portions into your application and start using this right away. You can also mix it with other modules. So, you'll see basically the examples we have in the library now are combinations of this module and other ideas, like maybe tracking jobs or maybe displaying work instructions. So hopefully that's a good introduction to this application, and I hope you find it's useful. Thanks.